Hi all. Right, that's a quick reminder of the 6 cards in my hand now. Remember I played the first army card for air introduction, so I've only got 6 cards. Remember my hand size is now 7. So, right, well I'm going to have to carry on what I was planning. So I'm playing the 8 core division card to activate the 101st Airborne Division. Now we've only got 3 of the units. I had checked earlier, one of them got eliminated. So this one is going to move into position because we've got to go with this. Well, no, it's not really. I was going to say it's opening a gap. Well, it's going to open the gap to Rochford, isn't it? Yeah, it is. But yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're going to just run in and grab another 2 victory points. But I need to do this. There's no point in going through all that chat that I had before. Right, come on, get on my Grant. I need to do it. There's nothing else I can do. Unless I was to take chances and move some of these back first, but that's silly. Stopping them getting that impulse. Okay, so 1, 2 breaking zone of control, and then 3 into there. Yeah. Yeah, there's no other way I can do it, is there? Just wonder if I could have. If I went 1, 2, 3 into there, can I get a unit? I can't get a unit into there, can I? No, they've not got the movement. They're all breaking zone of control. That's what I was hoping for. If I was 1, 2, 3 into there and then have him there, but well, if I sit there and keep that there protecting Rochford and they activate, then they stroll into Dinon, they stroll adjacent to the Muse. We don't want any of that. So let's just do what I'm going to do. I might have to give up the 2 points at Rochford. Right, so the other part of this is to decide. Hang on a sec. If I move or do anything with both of them, one of them's got to go into that hex to carry out what we wanted to do. If I move out of Avalanche, it leaves 5 strength in Avalanche. Now that then ties the unit. I know I've spoken about this before, that I've not gamed that situation, but I guess it's kind of sunk into my head now, and it's not. Well, I guess I'm thinking about whether it's a bit gamey or not. Do not move a unit starting adjacent to a VP hex occupied by allied units of strength 5 or less. So it has come up a few times, and I did notice at one point I wasn't deliberately leaving just 5 strength to hold the units, or if you put more strength, the units are going to move away. But if I was to move that unit, it's only going to leave 5 strength, unless of course I move that unit in. But I think I'm going to do and this was my initial plan when I found that this one's 3 strength rather than the 2 strength, and he's got an IP. So just move this one 1, 2 breaking zone of control, and then 3 into there. So now we've got the Fear Brigade surrounded. So all he could potentially do from that is the infiltrate move, which wouldn't get him into Dinon. So and I suppose if you are looking, whether it's classed as a gamey thing or not, I'm leaving 5 strength in there, so it does mean that these units have got to stay around that. The worrying thing is that they all gang up and attack there and maybe take it, but is Avalanche 2 or is it 5? It's only 2 victory points, so it's not so bad. Yeah, and I think I'll just leave. Just leave this other guy here. Yeah. Okay, I think that's about as best as I can do. it would be nice to maybe draw. I mean, I'm only going to draw 2 cards here. I don't think it'd be wise to consider some attack, would it? I mean, not in the Fuhrer Brigade, but I just wonder at this infantry. That'd be 3, 6, 8. You know, if I was able to reinforce battle, which I do have. Just thinking about maybe using our card up to get, because on saying that, I've got my any one unit move. Might as well. I used it the first impulse last game. Last day. Just use it the second impulse this day. I could use it to move that unit in a Dino. And oh no, I can't, because these are going to be activated, aren't they? So it doesn't matter, even if I do draw the 8 core card or something to move them, they're going to be ineligible to activate next impulse. Okay. Right, I'm going with that. So activate. Oh yeah, I forgot. There was no detachments adjacent. No, that's because that's what happens if I get to activate a Cane. That detachment goes away. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, there's my impulse. First impulse of the day, and that's these guys activated. So we're going to have a German impulse. Oh, no, we're going to have 2 more German impulses before we can any one unit move into the army bay. Okay. Right, so I've got 5 cards, so I'm going to draw 2 new cards. So, no command, that is not what. Oh, it's air power though. Why could I have not had that in opening hand? And 3 core, well, that's pretty good. That's air power as well. They're all coming now, aren't they? 3 core, yeah, that's the guys down south, isn't it? But no 8 core card, which is fine. I'll probably there's a good chance I'll deploy the British units next turn, maybe. Now, mind you, there's a few other options, but that might be the better idea, just to get ready. Yeah. Mind you, oh no, that doesn't work either. Okay, right. That's my first impulse. Okay, sorry, I got cut off there again, but I was done with that impulse. So let's get a German impulse. Okay. So, let's just draw the cards, see what we get. Okay, that's the primary of that. Oh, well, that's good. So that's the red guys up the top and the 85th Corps, right? We don't really care about all them. So this is the primary card. It's going to be the command card. This is going to be the support card. Oh, I've got bridge engineers again. And they still have a bridge down, so you would have kind of thought there maybe be a time where they just gave up with that, but right, hang on a sec. Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't think there's anything to stop it. So this event's going to trigger because there is still one bridge. Well, the other thing is, if there's no bridges broken, they could check for bridges to allow supply to be traced to units. But however, there is still one bridge, so I'll just swing around. Hang on. Yeah, so we've still got this bridge here, and both hexes bordering the bridge need to be free of allied zone of control. This guy's a bracketed unit, so it's not exerting zone of control either side. So yeah, I think that's good. I think they build the bridge. I suppose that combat tactic on that card is only press the attack, and yeah, 85th Corps. Don't know, there's quite some stuff going on now, right enough, but 85th Corps, don't know, they're quite some stuff going on now, right enough, but 85th Corps, don't know, they're quite some stuff going on now, right enough, but 85th Corps, don't know, they're quite some stuff going on now, right enough, but 85th Corps, don't know, they're quite some stuff going on now, right enough, but 85th Corps, don't know, they're quite some stuff going on now, right enough, but 85th Corps, don't know, they're quite some stuff going on now, right enough, but 85th Corps, don't know, they're quite some stuff going on now, right enough, but 85th Corps, don't know, they're quite some stuff going on now, right enough, but 85th Corps, don't know, they're quite some stuff going on now, right enough, but 85th Corps, don't know, they're quite some stuff going on now, right enough, but 85th Corps, don't know, they're quite some stuff going on now, right enough, but 85th Corps, don't know, they're quite some stuff going on now, right enough, but 85 However, well, that's all the bridge is built, so I suppose if they get that event again, they're only looking to construct the bridge to maybe bring a unit back to supply, so which is a more positive thing, I think, than fixing that bridge for them, really. But however, that's how it goes, right? So that's that. Yeah, so that's the event done. So now there's no support card. So these are the guys up the top, aren't they? 67 core, yeah, the guys around the edge, actually. They're the main ones. There's none of their units in the reserve units box. Okay, let's see what's... Yeah, they want to activate. This is a primary card, yeah. Right, so no roadblocks. Objective marker still needs to be reached. It's in this hex here. So let's see what movement there is, if any. Okay, straight on to 10 to 13. Unit 1 can't move via arrows or closer to his army objective. Neither can Unit 2, so they're staying put. Next unit is Unit 4, the infantry here. Now, unfortunately, these two infantry units are 3 steps, and both these hexes have got 4 steps in them, so you can't go in there. Actually, would that be closer to his army objective anyway? Probably not. So moving at this hex is probably what he wants to do, I think. Oops. Try get the first SS as well. The IP would stay there. So I think he's 1 hex closer to his army objective, yada yada yada. Right, Unit 5, can't move the arrows, and well, I dare say that would be closer, wouldn't it? Yeah. Has he got any other options? 1, 2, 3, no. So I think he's just going to cross the river, getting 1 hex closer to his army objective as well. Yeah. So that leaves Unit 7. Now he could move into one of these 2 hexes, but I don't think this one's closer to his army objective. There's no arrows, is it? So he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. There would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away, but there it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 away. And he would be adjacent. Well, you know what? He's not going to get in here anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4 away, but hold on. They're both the same, aren't they? Because he could go in there, or he could go in here, and they're both 4 away. Because they can't get in there, which would be 3 away, because that's going to be there's 5 steps already in there. That's right, and that is a 2-step unit underneath, yeah. So what does he do between the 2 now? Can he? Well, to be honest, yeah, there probably is a 3-to-1 advantage on this unit, isn't there? That 9, that would be 12. Well, actually, no, it counts adjacent units as well, doesn't it? So, and it doesn't count the river. I think we came to that conclusion that the 3-to-1 advantage doesn't. It's just a simple 3-to-1. So that means he's wanting to go into this hex rather than this hex, because that's going to be adjacent to an allied unit with a 3-to-1 advantage. Okay. Right. I think that's all the movement then. So checks are going to be it's Unit 1 that's underneath us, isn't it? Okay, so Unit 1 could either check here or here. Well, you know what, he's going to check here, because that's across the river as well, into the city. So that's going to be 8, 12 across the river. So that's 6 to 3. And there's no support card, no reserves. So 6 to 3, he's going to get a +1 for being adjacent to supplied allied unit. So 6 to 4, that's 1.5 to 1, isn't it? Yeah, we're going to have to roll a dice here, aren't we? So 6 to 4, 1.5 to 1. Is this right? Yes. Okay, so it's 1.5 to 1. There's no modifiers, so I'll just spin that around when I roll this. Oh, it's a 1. Probably happen then. Cancel if only defender elite or only defender armor. Haha. Oh no, I think we've got armor. Or is it mechanized one? What's unit 1? I'll show you that's the armoured unit. Oh, it's not. It's the mechanized one. Selector number 2 is the armour. Cancel if only defender elite or only defender armour. Yeah, that's going to cancel then, because it is only the defender that's got armour. Oh dear. Right, okay. So that was unit 1 doing a check on there. Unit 2, well, you know what, it's going to be 9, 4, 9, 12 against 16. Oh no, in fact that's coming across the river as well. Yeah, it's hopeless up there, isn't it? It's hopeless for them. It's not hopeless down there though. So I'm fine with it being hopeless up there. So yeah, that's only 2 checks that could be made, isn't it? Yeah. So well, actually there could be some bounce back to reserves as well now, couldn't there, for them? Yeah. I think unit 1 is going to bounce back to the reserves. Is that right? I think so. 26, isn't it? I think I'd remember these things by now. The reserves. It was adjacent to an allied unit, yeah. It was, yeah. Reserve supply and leave them 2 steps. At least 2 steps. Yeah, that's fine. So unit 1 is, and I think this one's going in as well, isn't he? Yeah. I'll try to find a better way in, maybe. Well, it makes some kind of sense that, because they're just not getting anywhere there. But I don't know, from reserves, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there is a way. Well, yeah, admittedly, if we are considering, say we were considering an attack, but that's not, see, I can't place them in there because I can't trace reserve supply. So the whole reserve supply bit is quite restrictive when it comes to, you know, you can't just chuck them any old place. Oh well. Okay, and there's no units left to build any IPs because they all made a move. Right, okay. Right, I think that's the impulse over. So that wasn't too bad. Yeah, it was pretty good. So we've got to try and linger out another impulse here. I mean, I could see, I've got the 18 core. Oh, you know what? I need to take a break just now anyway, so I'm not going to start getting going about what I'm maybe going to do next turn. So I'm going to take a pause for now, guys, and we'll be back with the next Allied Impulse soon. Okay, cheers. Hi all. Right, on to the next Allied impulse, and I think I should make the most of taking advantage of getting Rochfort back. Well, sorry, not getting it back, but because I'd drawn that unit up there, I'd opened up a nice wee stroll for that lower unit down into Rochfort. And then I realised I could move one of these units, well, in particular this one, I think. So I'm going to activate 18 core, and I'm going to move this guy 1, 2 breaking zone of control and 3 into Rochfort. 1, 2, 3. Wondering about. I was thinking about trying to get more surround here, and I'm just wondering about why put him down here, or maybe put him up here. Is that? It's a wee bit riskier. He's only 2 strength. No. I think I will put him in there. I had thoughts about moving this down, really kind of just to get adjacent to the detachment, and maybe moving this into here, one of them into here, to get adjacent to the detachment, and also to start getting some surround on the. I mean, this is the 47th Corps, which are pretty strong, and we've not got. But we might be able to start considering about shutting off supply for them. I mean, there's risks involved, I suppose. Like I say, there was me thinking about putting a 2 strength unit adjacent to like 5 or 6 strength armour, you know. Yeah, I think I am going to bring this unit down. Moving him 1, 2, 3 into that crossroads there. I know it's a clear hex, but. And I'm going to move this unit into the forest there. Don't know if this is clever or not, to be honest. I mean, I did kind of think that the 22nd was the day to start going at them, but I mean, I also had thought about maybe making an attack on with us, but it's a 5th Corps unit underneath, and I don't think that's very clever. Yeah, why not? I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but I think, this made sense, didn't it? And I guess I'm just trying to move the other units about to make the most of the card, really, rather than just move one unit. The other units we have these are 18 core units. That's one there. There's only one of that left with 1 step, and then this one as well. But these are both isolated, so kind of feeling like I'm just got to leave them. You know, I don't feel like it was worth wasting an air. Well, I say wasting, using an air power to air supply that when there was 3 units there, but there's only one with 1 step now, and I think using an air power card on that is probably a waste of a card, really. It does feel harsh just leaving the units to try and cope with what they've got left on their own, but you know. Right, okay, I'm going to go with that, and I think there's 1 unit I left, because I did ponder and thought, well, okay, maybe I could move that guy into the woods hex rather than that clear hex, but I think having that wee gap there in between, and because he is in just a clear hex, he will be able to get to build an IP, so we'll just leave him where he is. The other units didn't do nothing, they're all in towns. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go with that for my impulse, and that'll be that. Now that means we can now activate them again. Next impulse. Let's see what new card we get. This one card, unfortunately. Well, I was hoping for 8 core, obviously, but not to be. More air power. This is division card air power as well. Ooh. Right. Lots of things to think about there. Okay, so the only way of, well, depending on what the Germans do, but the only way of me moving that unit into Dinan is using that to activate any one unit with what I've got. However, let's see what the Germans do first. Okay, let's see what my card drawing skills are going to bring this time. First SS, 7th Army. Ooh, okay. Right, so no primary card. 7th Army cards. Going to be the command card. First SS is going to go support card, and that actually has the bridge engineers event. This is a supplemental card. So, well, we'd fixed the last broken bridge there, but I did say that the other option is to build a new bridge, but only if it's going to help with supply issues. Now, I don't think any of the Germans have had supply issues, and even with a couple of moves that I made there, it's not really shutting them off just yet, I don't think. And the building of any bridges wouldn't really help, I don't think. So let me just have a wee look though, just in case. No, I don't think there's any supply issues. So building any new bridges isn't going to enable a German unit that can't trace supply at the moment to be able to. I'll just swing around here. I would, if it was maybe myself, consider building a bridge up here somewhere to maybe try and get these units across, but that's got nothing in the rules regarding that. It's just, if for instance this unit couldn't trace supply, but he can just trace over the unbridged river. Whereas that would probably be a good bit to build a bridge, but anyway, okay, so not going to happen. So the event doesn't get implemented, so we'll keep that. Special round freeze, that's the 23rd. Okay, we're on the 22nd. Okay, so on to command card. So we're going to activate 7th Armour unit with most non-bracketed 7th Armour units and 2 hexes and all those units. Okay, I'm pretty sure the activation point's going to be this guy here. He gets 7 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Pretty sure I'm not going to beat that. There's only 1 unit in there, and there's only 1 unit in there. The other, they're just control markers, etc. Well, this is where the 80 core objective marker is as well. So, yeah, pretty sure that's going to be the centre activation. So, like I say, we're getting to activate these 4 85th core units, this 53rd core unit, an armoured unit, and then these 2 80 core units. And with that, we also have in the reserve units box 2 units from the 80 core, so they become active as well. So I've got to keep that in mind. Right, and the combat tactic in the support card is reinforced battle. Okay, so we've got 3 different cores being activated here. Units from 3 different cores anyway. Now because we've got some from the 80 core, I think they're going to move first because they've got a core objective. Check German units with a core objective marker 1 at a time and send in numerical order before checking any units moving via the normal movement method. So we're going to check these 2 first before we look at the other guys, because they're going to follow just the army objective. Right, no roadblocks. Army objective markers. No, I don't think so. Hang on. Yeah, there's still no units within 2 or proximate to the 7th army objective marker. Like I say, this is the core objective marker, so there's still an allied unit within, well, there's still 2 allied units, well actually 3, this is 2 in a stack, isn't it? Anyway, there's still an allied unit within 3 of the core objective, so that stays there. Okay, let's see what they're going to do. No, they're not going to move at all, they're both adjacent to the nearest unit. Each unit towards an allied unit within 3 hexes of core objective. They're both within 3. This one's adjacent to both of them, this one's adjacent to that. And yeah, so they're not going to move. Okay, so let's look at, so we've got this guy, the 3, and this guy. Yeah, I'm not sure there's going to be too much movement at all here. I went back to have a look. This could move closer to its army objective and adjacent to an allied VP hex here, but if you remember for the last impulse with him, he's holding this guy surrounded, and if he moves any west of that, this hex is going to be free for that unit to move into, so breaking its surround there, so that's not going to happen. Right, I'll just look on here just and see. Yeah, the other thing is with all the other units, they're round, well, not only that, this one's holding surround on this, but this is only 4 strength in a VP town, so the restriction stops all 4 of these units from moving away from this. The only thing they could do is get into another hex, but they're all in empty hexes by themselves, so I don't think anything's going to happen. It's going to come down to checking for a couple of attacks, I think. Yeah, I'm going to just decide that nothing's moving. I mean, this one kind of wants to move, but like I say, he's got to keep zone of control on this hex. So, yeah. So nothing's moving at all. We've got a couple of reserves, haven't we? And there's a step in between now, isn't there? Step 4, place eligible active reserve units on German detachment markers. I think this is... Wait for, give me a sec. Okay, I think this is going to happen this time actually. So, step 4 of the activation sequence, check non-bracketed active reserve units 1 at a time, descending numerical order for placement in a hex with a German detachment marker. So, a detachment is eligible to be replaced by a reserve unit if all the following are true. detachment marker is in the reserve unit's army. A detachment is in the army matching that of the closest on-map German unit. If units of different armies are equally close, the detachment is in all those armies. So, I'm looking at, well, I was looking at these two, but we'll find out that this one's not applicable. And well, actually, no, I wasn't looking at that one because the big one I'm looking at really is an allied unit's going to be proximate to the detachment. Okay, and that brings up something. Hang on. Right, anyway. So, they are both in the reserve units. They're both in the 7th Army. So, the detachment is not adjacent to a non-bracket German unit. Well, this one is. So, but there was no allied unit proximate to that anyway. But this one's not. It's not adjacent to a non-bracket German unit. German supply can be traced to the detachment. Well, yeah, it can go 1, 2 onto this road, up, and then away. And an allied unit is proximate to the detachment, and this cavalry unit is. So, I think, and we're going in descending order, so I've got a unit 3, I've got a unit 3 and then a unit 2. So, and then from the 18th on, it was just infantry units, but from the 21st, it's all non-bracketed units. It's got to be non-bracketed. So this armoured unit's unit number 3 in the reserve units box. I've got a unit selector number 2, so I think that armoured unit's going to come in here and remove that detachment. We'll go into that question I had about the detachments. It just it talks about it there. About the what am I looking for? An allied unit is proximate to the detachment. Yeah, Martin made a comment. I think I was asking for some help regarding when we had an allied unit adjacent to a detachment, and then we were checking to see if this allied unit could be proximate to another detachment further on. And my thinking was that, yeah, because once you activate that unit, that detachment moves away and then you can make a move. But after talking about it that way, I thought that something felt wrong about it, and I thought, I don't think you can maybe do that. This would have to be proximate, to have to go away from this detachment and go round. It couldn't, just because it's not considering it activating, it's just considering proximity. But I don't know. I've been looking at some of the rules in NM Action Kharkov, and there's a part. Well, it's not detachments they use; it's garrisons. And the bit I came across, the rule I came across was something similar. It was a unit being proximate to a garrison, and it was okay if it was adjacent to the garrison. The garrisons kind of act the same way as the detachments. So in the rules there, it was allowed to, as long as it was adjacent to the garrison, it would then be proximate to be able to move elsewhere. I'm maybe not explaining that awful well. That's maybe why I should have just left it just now, and maybe I'll look at that one in the future. You know what? Maybe if it comes up again, I'll delve deeper into it. Hopefully, I've not baffled you with any nonsense there. Okay, so I think that guy goes there, and yeah, that one's not applicable for it, and I can't see any of the other ones. There's another 2 attachments up here, but they're both, there's 5th Panzer Army units that are closer to them, so they're in the 5th Panzer Army rather than the 7th, so but I maybe need to watch out for that one. I wasn't thinking there was any, and there you go, we had that one. So okay, right, moving on. Okay, so time to determine if there's going to be any attacks. So Unit 2 here is the lowest selector number. It's infantry unit. Now, he's got 3 different places he can check. My guess is probably going to be this one's going to be, well, mind you, that's a 4 strength. Maybe not. Oh, well, this is, what is this? This is 5 strength, yeah. And this is only 2 strength, but just getting the support. Right, okay. This is 7 across the river into that, so that's 3 plus this 2. So that's 5 against 2. 1 for the forest. It's 5 against 3, but -1 for the low supply. So that is 5 against 2. So 2-to-1 odds there. Yeah, this one's unlikely. What did I say? It was 5 strength. So I've got 2, 4, and then 5 halved across the river. So that's 6 against 5. He gets a -1 though. That's 6 against 4. So that's only 1.5 to 1. That's 2 to 1. And this one's a 4. Yeah, it probably is going to be this one, isn't it? Because it's getting 8 halved across the river. So that's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 against 4, but he's in low supply. So it's 11 against 3. Yeah, that's a 1. That's 3 to 1. Okay, so he's the lead unit. We're doing a check on this. The odds are 3 to 1. Yeah, any modifiers? Oh, it's an army card. Yeah, where's the card? I usually like to have the card floating about somewhere, just to remind myself and these guys what's going on. So that gives them a -1, and the support card is reinforced battle. I don't actually think that is applicable. I don't think anyone can reinforce, because even this guy can't do it because he's breaking the restriction. We already came across that before. So, and then brought up the question again, do you have to follow the restrictions? And yeah, you do. It's still a movement method. So, and I don't think there's anything else. This can't come across the river. These are too far away. So I don't think the combat tactic would get used for that. Okay, so, but it's still 3 to 1 odds, and it was a -1 for being the army card. So, let's see if I can get my Friday books in there. So 3 to 1 odds with a -1. 2, well, I'm pretty sure that's a goer. So let's down to a 1. Cancel if only defender elite or only defender armor. Oh, he is armor, isn't he? Yeah, we've got armor this time. So we're okay. Right, okay. So this is going ahead. So we'll draw a combat tactic. There's me walking out again, isn't it? The Six Panzer Army card. Well, mind you, the Six Panzer Army are having their troubles up there, aren't they? They're not really getting anywhere, but however. So they're getting, what are they getting? They're getting artillery and assault coordination. That's not really helping, is it? Because they were actually getting artillery with us anyway. So we're getting a result again. I bet Martin's shaking his head right now, saying, "Can't believe the cards you draw right at the right time." Okay, so that gives artillery and assault coordination. And assault coordination doesn't. Well, I suppose it means they're not going to take any. They're going to avoid one hit, aren't they? So I suppose there is that possibility. But they were getting artillery for this anyway. So I'll be in extra chip pools though. So they've played that, and they're not adding the reinforced battle because they've decided there's nothing could come and reinforce us. And I'm pretty sure that's right. So, and we're in low supplies, so we can't play a combat tactic. So let's get the odds, let's get things worked out here. So it's 8 coming across the, well actually, let's get these guys into place. I'll leave that blue cube, that's just signifying the centre of the activation, just so I remember these 2 units are active. So, and then he's going to come in, he was going to lose his IP. Right, so we've got 8 coming across the river, so that's 4, 8, 11. 11 against 4. Yeah, because it was low supply, yeah, so the odds aren't 3 to 1, they're only 2 to 1, aren't they? So 2 to 1 odds. Chip pools are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 units. 1 for this is a 4-step unit, that's 5. 1 for the artillery on that is 6, and 2 more for the artillery and assault coordination is 8. 2 to 1 odds, 8 chip pools. Yep, I think that's right. So we've got a combined arms unit and a broken hex. A broken VP hex. Okay, I'll get the 8 chits. Wow, that was a good result. Yeah, what's the odds chits? Which is what you want when you're only at 2 to 1. Well, certainly above. These 2 were not applicable. They were obviously stronger odds in the back and the front. I can't remember what they were. Defender elite. He's not elite or green. No air power, but they played artillery. We got a nice wee a broken chit, D-1, and then got, again, these were high odds on the front, on the back, less than 3 to 1, less than 4 to 1 for 2 A hits. I mean, admittedly they've got the assault coordination, but yeah, that was really good. So, that's the wrong colour, Grant. Let's do hits to the Germans. Nothing to us. And we were in the town, mind, so we were going to be able to soak one up there as well, so that was a breeze. Right, so 2 hits to them, but they do soak one up for the assault coordination, but they've got to take the other one. And yeah, they've got to take the first one as a hit. This is a 4-step unit. So let's go into that guy, I think. So maybe it doesn't bother them too much, that, but that's that. Okay. And we get to just chuck this 6 Panzer Army card in the discard pile. Martin, you see, that's how you do it. Nice and easy. Okay. Right, so we've still got this unit, this unit, this unit. So who would be next to check? Unit number 5. So checking against this is 5, isn't it? Yeah. So 5, but it gets a -1 for the supply issue. So 4. So that would be 4 against 4. Yeah, because they've made an attack. So 4 against 4. So there's 1-to-1 odds down there. 1-to-1 odds again with a -1. Oh, actually, I need to. What about the reinforced battle? Is that could be applicable this time, couldn't it? Hey, well, both these guys are in. Sorry, I'll show me along there a bit. Both these guys are in towns. Oh no, this guy can move now, can't he? Cause he's taking Mersh. All these hexes are now. Ally supply doesn't come through the hexes, so this guy could indeed come and reinforce the battle. So that is an applicable combat tactic this time in the support box. So we've got 1-to-1 odds and a -1 for the army card, -1 for the combat tactic. So 1-to-1 odds with a -2. Oh, and it's a 3, so this could happen as well. I'm not moving my page. Where are we here? So I got it's the same result. Cancel if only defender elite or only defender armor. Oh, I think they have armor, don't they? Yeah. Oh no, yeah, we're just infantry, aren't we? 2 infantry units. He does have armor. Yeah, combined arms. Okay. So that isn't going to happen after all. So that was Unit 5 checking here. Unit 6 can't check here. That's already had a check. Can check here. So this is 2 and then another 1 coming across the river. Like a 2 half to 1. So 3 against 2. 3 against 3 for the forest. 3 against 2 again for the low supply. 3 against 2, so just 1-to-1 odds again. And is it the same -2? Well, yeah, because this unit can. Sorry, this unit can still come up and support that. Yeah. So 1-to-1 odds with a -2 again. 6 this time. So that's a 4. Cancel if less than 2-to-1 or only defender armor. Oh well, we only had 1-to-1, didn't we? Okay, not happening then. And I think that's it. So the last unit would be Unit 8. This has already had a check, so yeah, I can't do it. These are the only 3 units that haven't done nothing. They can't bounce back to reserves because they're all on their own. This guy will build an IP and this guy will build an IP. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot the reserve unit. Yeah, goat. Oh no. Well, I'm glad I caught it just here, but oh, damn it. How do I fix this? Oh, silly. I mean, this was the first attack. That unit's either going to come in here or here. Well, actually, can he trace reserve supply from there? Yeah, he can, can't he? Maybe not from there. Actually, he can from there as well. Sorry, we're not showing you the whole picture. Like, we've got this, there's one infantry unit. He should have came in from the reserves. In fact, did we never even considered him. Oh, I made a mess of this. I think it all seems to be these late night episodes that make things go wrong. Okay, I'm going to try and fix this, and I don't want to redraw the chits. I mean, it's the first chits that have came out of the cup, so I don't want to do all that. I know they were quite good for us, but then this combat's going to change. The odds are going to be different, so the chits aren't going to be quite as good for me, I don't think. So what would have happened was, I would have been considering this unit from the reserves to be within the check. Now I know we rolled the dice for that anyway, but I don't think we would have needed to roll the dice, because the odds would have been 4, 7, and then the other 4 from the reserves is 11, and then this 3 coming across the river is 14, and this unit would only have been a 3 situationally, because of low supply. So that would have been, what did I say, 14 against 3. So it would have been 41. So we wouldn't have needed a dice roll, but we did roll the dice and it happened. So that's irrelevant. We would have went into the combat, we would have drawn, this is a combat tactic. Okay, as we did. Yeah, that didn't add anything new. And then we get to the bit, well, we wouldn't have used the support card because, like I said, there was nothing that could reinforce the battle from that position. And then add active German reserve units. So just checking, 12.21. Yeah, and a hex not across the river. It's like, I mean, it's just, he could go in either one of these, but he's obviously want to go in that one, because this one's going to half his strength coming across the river. So this unit actually would have went in here. Good there, yeah. He would have been deployed there, and he can chase reserve supply by going 1, 2, 3, and then, you know, he's got to avoid, remember, reserve supplies. I can't just trace into there, so I need to go 1, 2, 3, and then around and away. So that's fine. So that's where he would have been placed. And okay, so then the odds would have been 4, 8, 11, and then 7 halved is 3, so it is 14, but it's 14 to 4 rather than 3, so that is 3 to 1, so they've jumped up a step there, the 3 to 1. Now they're also going to get to draw another 2 chip pools, because this extra unit, and he's a 3-step unit, so we were getting 8 chip pools. So we've got the chip pools that I drew, and we've got 2 more to come. So, well, for the excitement of it all, I'll put the 8 back out that I had, and then obviously they might change a little bit. So give me a second. Okay, so might not look like anything's changed, but it has, because these 2 chits have switched place, because this is 1. Remember, I was counting 2 to 1 odds, so this was actually applying before, less than 3 to 1, but now it doesn't. This one wasn't applying because it was greater than or equal to 3 to 1. So there's a slight change there already. So it's still A2, but it's D1. So we might still get away with this okay. Right, but we do need to still draw. That's only 8 chits, so I need to draw 2 more chits. So let's see what they are. Okay, well, we got lucky here. 5th Panzer Army or Allied attack. This is 7th Army. And it's got air power in the back of that, and that was an air power chit. So they're the two. I've just shimmied. I'll need to move this town back into waltz. I'm struggling to find the space. So the difference in there, that's just going to be the same, isn't it? Because we're going to have D1, A2. We're in a town, so that soaks up the D1, and A2 is going to give the exact same result. Okay, good. Right, and we already reduced, this was a unit that got reduced for the 1 step loss. Right, I think that's okay. And nothing else would have changed. All the other checks would have been the same. Yeah, okay. Right, sorry about that, guys. Just a lapse in my concentration, and yeah, and away you go. Right, I'll tidy things up. Well, I was just finalising things by putting an IP on this guy, wasn't it? And this guy as well. They didn't do nothing. Okay. Right, I'll tidy things up. Get rid of that. Oh, I've still got the 1st SS. This is this is went on off along, isn't it? Yeah, grand. That's always the case. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, I figure I can probably squeeze this in at the last part, because it is just going to be assigning 2 replacement points, I think. I say the special is ground freeze that happens on the 23rd, so we're not getting that. And then assign 2 replacement points to the core, so the 1st SS. So, yeah, there's definitely replacement points. So, give me a sec. Okay, so we've got 2 replacement points to distribute, and we go from highest number to lowest. And I was like looking about thinking, is that all the unit? There's 1 reduced here, and there's 1 infantry here, and then there's a piper there, and I'm thinking, where's the rest of them? And then I forgot they're in there's some in the reserve units box. So in actual fact, they count as well. We can repair them as well. So we're looking for highest number. Well, that's a 26. Piper's obviously a 7. This is a 33. So he's actually the highest. So he's going to repair. It needs to be able to trace reserve supply, and there's no issues there. And then the other guy that's going to repair is unit 32, and he's in the reserve units box. So basically he flips over to his good side and stays in the reserve units box. And that is that, I think. I hope that's right anyway. That's 2 replacement points to the 1st SS. All good. And that's the German impulse over. So we've managed to survive through that whole thing, and now get to a point, okay, it's not perfect, you know what I mean? Martin surely would have drawn the 8th core card to make it perfect. But I haven't, but I can make use of the any 1 unit activation, hopefully next turn. Activate this unit, that'll drop off and jump into Dino, taking it back and getting the victory points back. So it's more than likely what I'm going to do. I don't think I should be taking chances waiting for the 8 core card, but you never know. I've done some daft things up to now, so who knows. Right, I better get this one cut now, guys. It's stretching on a bit. and this will be the last part of the next part of the video, and whatever that is, can't remember. Okay, but I'll be back with that exciting Allied Impulse sometime soon. Okay, cheers.